Mid.
Mid something.
Careful short.
Shadows traveling.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about this because you're already out of smokes. You just burned both smokes, and there's a lot of ways we could have held tree. Do you think Xander would do this? I guess is my first question to you, because I told you to study Xander VODs, and I feel like already I'm going to give you a strike because there's no world Xander plays like this. I told you a year ago to watch Xander VODs. I feel like you're just writing down his util, which is good, but you're missing like his ego. Like, there's a huge gap in the way you and Xander approach the game. Look. This is such a perfect example. I literally just started playing his VOD, and look, I guarantee you, I am 1,000,000% confident that if this is you, you are using this cover. I guarantee it. You're definitely coming into cover here. Xander's not. He's just fighting.
I'm smoking that Phoenix.
Nice guys, nice guys. Just don't die, just don't die.
Flashing for you, Jet. Flashing.
One more.
Yeah. Your Phoenix is like fighting for main, and you're like smoking him off and playing dice. I'm not sure about that. You see these moments, he's way more aggressive than you. And that's why I find it hard to believe that you've been studying this guy for a year, you know, because his gameplay looks so different. And I don't know how to explain it to you, Chaos Flight. You're like too high elo for this to be a simple explanation. The problem is you're like low immortal and you're trying to get to Radiant, I presume, or whatever. And the gap is like, you don't get aggressive ever. And you need to get aggressive, but you need to know when. And the when is really hard. The when just comes with time from getting too aggressive and learning from that. You're just always throwing these one ways and holding them. And that's not a bad play is the problem, because you'll see like a pro player throw a one way and hold it. And the difference is the pro player also pushes their spawn. And that like contrast in how passive and how aggressive they can get is what makes them so hard to play against. Omen, Ascent, Mortal 1. Do we have notes? We have year-old notes, and dude hit Immortal. That. Oh, and then you D-ranks back to Ascendant. What the hell? Turn up your mic gain. Maximize quality of our play. If we're using two people to fight for some space, consider all the possible ways to do this. Strongest bad habit using our smokes to direct the enemy to the wrong side. That's so true. And just to transition aggressive passive player now while optimize, be mindful of this try, especially correct movement. They started Xander VODs. All right, bet. We're gonna look at defense first, and we're gonna look at smoke placement.
Cover going out.
Why is him in?
Kermod.
Mid.
Mid something.
Careful short.
Shadows traveling.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about this because you're already out of smokes. You just burned both smokes, and there's a lot of ways we could have held tree. Do you think Xander would do this? I guess is my first question to you, because I told you to study Xander VODs, and I feel like already I'm going to give you a strike because there's no world Xander plays like this. I told you a year ago to watch Xander VODs. I think he may one-way tree in certain contexts, but I do not think he would play a pistol like this. Let me look. Oh, wait.
I'm smoking backside for you. Get backside, get backside.
Going out.
Yeah, he pushes out.
Who was it?
I think my decision making was I didn't want them to push tree since Phoenix was AFK. What do you mean? Phoenix is holding market. He's literally fucking here, dude. They push here one way.
I'm rotating.
And you don't kill them?
Possibly tree, possibly trees.
Oh, short.
Oh,
Nice, nice, nice.
Jet tag 40.
Nah. This is so insanely unacceptable.
Asha was main.
Possibly
They peek your one way
catwalk.
and you unswing instead of fighting. You have a huge advantage. The dude can't really trade easily, like anybody behind that jet, because they'd have to peek into a one way. Like, you're gonna throw a one way and then you're gonna give up control of it with 0? Nah. Xander wouldn't. All right, show me one like playbook you made from watching Xander. And so as far as I'm concerned, studying would involve taking notes in some capacity. I want to see any level of Xander notes, given you've had a year. Because I'm calling bullshit right now. I don't think you've watched more than like 3 Xander VODs. You have a bind one? Yeah, bet. Let me see. Plays A, prioritizes bath control of the teammate, sometimes swinging through with a teammate. Get good info. I feel like you're just writing down his util, which is good, but you're missing like his ego. Like there's a huge gap in the way you and Xander approach the game. Look. This is such a perfect example. I literally just started playing his VOD and look, I guarantee you, I am 1,000,000% confident that if this is you, you are using this cover. I guarantee it. Like, you're definitely coming into cover here. Xander's not, he's just fighting.
Yeah, I'm smoking fat finish.
Nice. Just don't die.
Flashing for the jet, flashing.
One more. Nice.
Yeah. Your Phoenix is like fighting for main and you're like smoking him off and playing dice. I'm not sure about that.
Last is unknown. He could be anywhere.
It's a lobby.
Shadows.
-4.
Yeah, let's talk about this. So the last one's A main, or could be coming A main, and you throw this one way that you can't even hold, which basically guarantees that this enemy will not push you, and instead they're gonna go into your dudes. Like, why don't you just play up here and hold? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are your odds of winning this fight? 80%? Probably higher. It's a Sage. She has no util to peek you. If she peeks out, she's gonna like peek here. You're way up here. It's just a free kill. Like, it's one dude. If you really wanted to one way, shouldn't we at least one way over here where we can hold it? Oh, I threw it for Shaq. My bad. Honestly, you play up here, it's probably still a one way. I digress. You just threw a one way you can't even hold. They can walk past it. And now what? Yeah, and like pushing Sage into your teammates is a terrible plan. I'm sorry, but it is. You're basically relying on your teammates to play coordinated together, which is not it. It's not it. If you just TP'd onto this box instead of one-waying, now there's like higher odds that she comes into you, and we kind of want her to come into you. As you see, she goes into your teammates, and oops, we gave her a 50.
You will
She's
not kill
taking-
my allies.
She's taking the open main. She is looking to res.
Yeah. And now because we're so passive, we're not able to defend the orb. Like, imagine if you're just heckin' wine. Like, you walk wine after throwing this one way, because you know this one way is giving you aim in control. Like, at this point, shouldn't you come wine? You check the orb status. Oh, she's one off. She taps orb. You kill her.
Okay. So wait, you're the one who's gonna push wine?
Yeah. Okay, you
I'm
give us
leaving.
mid,
I'm
you
going
mid.
mid.
Do we actually one way
One
towers for you?
enemy remaining.
Hey, Jerk.
Down mid.
Could be a man.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a rule that you're gonna hate. Let me look through the maps right now. Okay, the only one ways you're allowed to throw are this one. Boom. You're allowed to smoke here on bind. You're allowed to smoke here on defense haven against the A rush, and you are allowed to smoke here and fight for mound on Lotus. Nothing else. Lotus C. Chat, there's a million more one ways in the game. The problem is this guy only throws them. They only throw them. I'm not calling the other one ways bad. I need you to understand that they're not. In fact, like, this tree one way on Ascent is incredibly useful, but we're only throwing one ways. Like, look at this shit. We're looking to throw a one way tiles right now. Why? For what purpose? It's
Two,
like the
one
only
now.
tool in our tool belt. You know the saying that if the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem looks like a nail? I feel like that's our problem right now. The only tool that I see him use is a one way. And so every single problem looks like it gets solved by a one way to our Omen's head, because he doesn't throw normal smokes. And so he doesn't understand when a normal smoke is better, because normal smokes are better a lot of the time.
No!
Lucky.
Spike
I'm back, shit.
down mid.
3 Nice.
Ooh!
Oh, there's one up tree.
Wow, your Cypher sucks. Your Cypher doesn't get that trade? That is crazy.
Cover going out.
There's a couple on A.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay, look. Okay, instead of throwing like one ways like this, just throw a falling smoke. So you throw a smoke off the ground and then peek when the arrow disappears. Bam. You'll see if they're tiles, and now you have like a proper smoke. Why do I want a proper smoke? They're much more annoying to come out of. Like let's throw your one way. Let me show you this one way from their POV, okay? So this is the one way, okay? So if they like come across to this side, first of all, they can just fight these angles. No problem. They can even peek a bit of cat. It doesn't deny as much info as you think it does. Like you sort of want to make them peek out. A one way will almost always result in the enemy like waiting out your smoke. And you don't always want that. Like, do you really want them to wait out your smoke here? You throw a one way when you don't want the enemy team to push. Like when you want to take map space. So when you throw this one way tiles, it means you want to like take mid control. Like you want to take a lot of it. But then you throw this one way and you just like,
Off mid.
you just leave your team mid. Like in this position against the A rush, if we're one-wing tiles, it's almost always going to be like a big flank. They have no trip, and you would like 4-man flank or some shit. This is really hard for them to read.
Yeah, it's not. I'm smoking.
Like as opposed to you're going to come over here, and we're going to 1-for-1 at best. Look at this, nobody's flanking. This is disgusting. And now you're like holding tiles, but they won't be at tiles because you one-wayed it.
You are divided.
And now we have no flank. Like, what was the point?
Spike planted.
You see, we threw the one way, but we didn't play around it at all. Well, Phoenix is kind of flanking now, but he's so slow.
3 big sides.
Yeah, we are actually walled off. We can't really do anything. Yo, you could try to actually bait me though.
Yeah, they just have one op holding the flank.
Wait, just wait. I'll show you everything.
Also, Sage walled that
Just
as well.
left.
No. He's on top of the wall. Nice shot.
One more.
No shot, you just did it again, dude. You're giving it the orb again? Your thought process was just opping. I want to push them into her A main, who's one way mid. No. Not on Ascent. Well, let's break down your thought process. What's a normal attacking round on Ascent look like? Because we have to expect our opponents to play like correct Valorant. What's like a normal formation on Ascent? Like if we don't have any read, how are they currently formed on the map? Let's start there. Because like your thought process is logical, but it's wrong. I see what you mean. Can you rephrase? Yeah, like if you had to put these guys on the map right now on attack, like if let's say I just jumped to this round in a random Immortal VOD or Radiant VOD, and I said place these guys on the map to the best of your ability right now. Like just you have no info because they're basically I want you to tell me how they would be defaulting. Is it's called a default because it's like the normal way that an enemy team will attack. Minus pistol round, but this is round 8. Jet, Raze, A main. Whoa. No, you're super dizzy. It's Astra here, Zarena over here, and then it's Sage, Jet, and Raze. 1-3-1. Generally, this would be a Sentinel, but they don't have one. And they wouldn't put Sage there because there would be 3 duelists mid. They wouldn't be able to contest space. So this is like a reasonable default. The smokes player is almost always the one who's playing A main. So now if we assume that they're 1-3-1, which is generally correct on Ascent, like it's the assumption to make they're 1-3-1, they're already an A main player. So all we need to do is not one-way main and they're likely to peek it. One-waying tiles doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything because this A main player is unaffected by that. And it's not like our op is going to multi-frag. Like if 2 people peek A main, it's no better than if 1 peeked it. I don't think we end up getting an early kill, unfortunately. Yeah. Let's look at other rounds so you can see what I'm talking about. Like here they are. This round, the Astra was B side. And they had 2 A main side. But it's very defaulty. We can look at round 7. There was almost certainly 1 starting A main. This guy's passively controlling B main. You one-wayed and this person fell back to come mid. You can see it's 1-3-1. 1-3-1. It's literally the same shit. 1-3-1 again. Do you see? They've got 1 dude over here for B main, 1 dude over here for A main, 3 mid. I was wrong about which dudes it was, but that doesn't really matter. The point is that you can anticipate this 1-3-1 on Ascent. And so your one-way tiles doesn't make any sense in terms of the logic you gave for it. You did one-way tiles because you want to take mid control, which is reasonable. Like if you said I wanted to one-way tiles because they have no recon, I wanted to take mid control to force them to have to 5-stack through a main. That makes sense. But you don't want them to 5-stack into an operator, because that's your operator will have to give up sight. Like if they push 5 main into your jet op, your jet might get one, and now it's retake.
Yo, I can give
One
you smoke and
tiles.
just call for it. They cut out to be up 2. Looks like an ace split. They have smoked my ping.
They're going
They
right,
could
they're
go
going
straight.
And it should be main. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It's not B. Oh, wait, it's B.
Hey,
Smoking the main. Yo, if they... Okay, flash me now.
You want to fight it?
Ah, on top, no one watching. Unlucky lane.
There's actually 2 outs on side. There's actually 1 logs, 1 lane.
You will not kill my ally.
Bro, we're getting Sage gapped.
Last player standing.
There is a wall on top.
Could they be... Could they be...
It's B.
And it should be main. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It's not B. Oh, wait, it's B.
Smoking the main.
Okay, so we deviate here. When I hold B site, I like to play on site. It's more effective. And so, like after this flash or whatever, I'm gonna come over here, and I will help my gecko with lane. Ideally, I get to an angle like this. This angle is like really good. Or you can even come back site, and you play an angle like this. If your gecko wants to play stairs or something. But when you hold B site, you hold it from site. Not from like over here. Like in these spots is really awkward. Even coming over this way is really awkward because they can wrap stairs on you once they get sight. It's not it. You don't want to be coming out this way. And this flash sort of lets you do that.
Okay, flash me now.
In fact, they give you a smoke, so like you don't even have to TP. Like you can actually just jump over this way and hold a TP and play with Gecko. This would have been much more accurate. And the defense just feels so, I don't know the word for it. Like you have really good fights, but you're like lost. Like you're never in good spots, if that makes sense. You convert your fights, which is good, but you never get those moments where you outplay them positionally. It just doesn't happen. And I think the reason for that is because you never let them push into you. You always just one way so that they'll never push your site. And the angles you hold are like way too passive, like to get these capitalizations. Like let's pull up the Xander VOD, because I guarantee you he'll have these moments in his VOD.
I'm trying my hardest. 120.
You would never have a round that looks like this. Like you cannot change my mind. He's taking that fight because he's got gun advantage.
Blind.
Spike down A.
Like this would have been that exact moment I'm talking about.
Spike down.
If Asuna didn't kill this Reyna or Sofa right here, remember when I said you don't have those moments where you seemingly like outmaneuver your enemies and get free kills? This is that scenario right here in the Xander VOD. You see how he's using the smoke to confidently just walk out? Like this tree guy will never be looking at him. Yeah, just like this. Remember when you like smoked the guy off so he pushed into your teammates and I was like, you could play off angle? These are the moments that I feel like you're missing. This doesn't happen in your VOD at all. But it's gonna happen a lot in a Xander VOD.
Bad. I'm flanking.
One enemy remaining.
You see these moments. He's way more aggressive than you. And that's why I find it hard to believe that you've been studying this guy for a year, you know? Because his gameplay looks so different.
Down mid.
And here. Could you tell me why he doesn't a one-way tree? I don't think you could, because like I feel like you would always one-way tree if we're watching you. So the reason why he doesn't one-way tree is because nobody will push a one-way. Okay, people will not push a one-way. But if he throws the smoke like this, there's actually like a realistic world that they try to push through it at a disadvantage. And if they push through this smoke, we're killing them. So it's only upside if they happen to peek through. A one-way they'll respect on average. Like they will not push a one-way on average. I don't need you to point out the rounds where they do. That's just variance. Like statistically speaking, they're more likely to push through a smoke like this.
Cover going out.
And we want them to push through. If they push through, we kill them. Like, ain't nobody pushing through that smoke and killing me. I'm killing them for sure. Like, look at this. Look at this spot.
Freezing, by the way.
Isn't he too exposed with that main peak? Which one? Here? What about this? Yes. Did you make it make more sense to me? So you're in this smoke. How do you peek out that ends up killing Xander? Like, are you telling me you walk out over here and you specifically pre-aim heaven? Like this? This is how you walk out of that smoke? I'm just trying to put myself in the shoes of the person who ends up killing Xander here because he's overexposed. Because that's the only way, right? They dry peek out of the smoke on this side and they're pre-aiming at him. So they'd have to peek with W and be pre-aimed heaven specifically. As far as I'm concerned, that's called wall hacking, and I'm not really concerned about people that are wall hacking. Like, that's not the first angle you're thinking about when you come out of this smoke, dude. First of all, you're not going to dry peek out of a smoke like this. They will jet smoke and dash or something. They're not going to dry peek out. If they do dry peek out, they would be gambling that nobody's holding the smoke, and they would peek this way. Let me try to explain. There's this concept on smokes that you can use them to collect passive info, where if you throw a smoke in certain choke points, enemies will not push through them without making noise. And this smoke is one such smoke. So a lot of the time, Omen players will throw a smoke like this and then leave because they figure, they'll make noise if they're coming out. And so sometimes there's this play where you like walk through it and clear tree this way to try and get timing. On like the Omen who's ignoring a main, expecting to push out with noise. That's the only time I think they dry peek this smoke. And so imagine somebody's dry peeking that way and Xander's holding like this. Xander just gets a free kill. As far as I'm aware, nobody's dry peeking out of it like this looking heaven. I don't think anybody does that. It's a really awkward peek because you have to peek it with like W. I can't imagine a high rated player ever even considering that as an option. So that's why I would not consider him overexposed here. You have to really be able to put yourself in the shoes of your opponents, because from Xander's POV, yeah, it looks kind of awkward if they peek out this way. But from their POV, it's really awkward to peek out that way. And so they're not gonna. I will agree that 1 in 100 times you probably will kill a guy heaven. This is the problem. Chaos Flight. The problem is Xander gets kills because he doesn't always disincentivize the enemy pushing into him, and he's very tricky. Like right now, could you tell me why he's not looking A main? Doesn't it feel kind of dangerous? Like, look.
Are you holding A main? Alt cat.
Nope. He makes sure his hop is holding A main. As the old cat. Like this. You ever seen anybody hold cat like this? No. And I don't know how to explain it to you, Chaos Flight. You're like too high elo for this to be a simple explanation. The problem is you're like low immortal and you're trying to get to Radiant, I presume, or whatever. And the gap is like, you don't get aggressive ever. And you need to get aggressive, but you need to know when. And the when is really hard. The when just comes with time from getting too aggressive and learning from that. You're just always throwing these one ways and holding them. And that's not a bad play is the problem, because you'll see like a pro player throw a one way and hold it. And the difference is the pro player also pushes their spawn. And that like contrast in how passive and how aggressive they can get is what makes them so hard to play against. The fact that one round they might just passively hold all round, and another round they might literally be in your spawn. That gap in Xander's playstyle is what makes him so good. And you're not demonstrating that gap. Instead, you're just taking the passive rounds and going, bet, I'm going to play like that. And you throw the one way, you hold it. You throw the one way, you hold it. You throw the one way, you throw the smoke. You rotate through spawn. And it's like, where's the aggression?
Spike planted.
There's nowhere to be seen. Bro, him too. Like, what the hell?
1-3, 1-3.
One enemy remaining.
Nice, last three, you can plant.
Oops.
Heaven, be careful, Heaven.
Tree has trip bar, don't worry about it.
Yeah, like look how we're playing. I mean, I've said it a million times now, but our Cypher's here. Holding contact. Pop quiz chat, where do we go? I feel like I've shown this now enough in recent Ascent VOD reviews that a lot of you already know. Yes, Spearfin has the feel. Spearfin says time for the spot. Yup. How do we play this post plant? We go behind the box. We'll throw a smoke right here. They can't come out of that smoke. We have a trip. Now, if they come heaven, our Cypher sees them. We peek. GG. Okay, now this is even more fucked up. You know why? Because on defense, remember that round where I asked you to position the enemy players, how you think they would be positioned, and you like didn't put the Astra A main by default? Now it's even more fucked up because this is exactly how you attack. You're playing default. You're the smokes player, you're controlling A main. So where's this lapse in judgment? Why aren't you able to expect them to play the way that you play? Because that's how you play competitive games. You need to expect them to play the way that you would play. You have to do that. You're not allowed to disrespect them, expect them to play differently. They play the way that you would play. That is like the golden rule, and it will not be violated. That's the mindset you need to have when you think in these like tactical games. It doesn't matter if the mindset fails you on occasion. Like you're playing A main here. We're literally 1-3-1. They're probably not there.
Nice. Shorty, pizza.
Nice.
On
There's
bottom,
actually one on
behind.
site.
Reyna
One
with me.
We have
enemy
side.
remaining.
Nice.
We have side, we have side, we have
Where?
side.
Info.
Man, you're a bit too confident about the fact that you have sight.
Oh, nice.
Nice shot though.
Why is the rain? What?
They're on eco. Like, do you not hear the sheriff?
Side for like a beat.
Bro, you're actually blind. Like, there's multiple rounds where Sage rezzed. You didn't realize she had res. This round they're on eco. You don't realize that they're on eco or what?
But they are still like.
Like, look, let's just make up a reasonable plan for the enemy team right now. Okay? They're one off Sage res. They're tilted off of a round loss. I think they're going to push A main. They're going to Reyna flash. Astro Seas take some A main control. Okay? I just invented a strategy for them out of nowhere because they're one off Sage res. That doesn't mean that's what they're going to do, but that would be my read. Okay? Let's see what happens.
I'm not gonna be faking anymore, huh?
Well, there's Reyna.
Where,
We
man?
can just actually take it.
Nice.
It's
Looks like I'm wrong. Let's look at the round. It is round 17. Yeah, I'm super wrong. It doesn't matter. The point is I've got a read and you've got nothing. Like, look at your pre-round.
but they are still like insta rotating. Do you think we could maybe fake
Yeah, bro, they're not insta rotating. They were eco stacked. Chaos flight. No, they were eco stacked.
A with the jet and the both off the actually gecko? Like I can still smoke your tree and then
Chaos
just
flight.
actually fake it.
Chaos flight.
Because I think they might just like insta rotate off.
I'm not gonna be faking anymore, huh?
Yeah, you could have easily ran that plan, by the way, if
When-
you just
Let's
ran
actually
A
take it.
Nice.
It's okay. It's
Boom, race and
Follow
chat.
Asher here. I'm
Go away, you can go, I think. To middle.
Maybe
go,
here.
go, 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 go.
Here, 1B, here, 1 low, 1 on A.
Oh, what the f... Wait, I'm lagging a low.
Sage picking.
1-3, 2 heaven.
You can stay left, or you can...
One more heaven. One more.
No, you did not just face that way to finish the plant. You did not just do that. What? Why would you wedge the bomb deeper back gen like that? Doesn't that make it easier to defuse? If you're planting here, wouldn't you want to face out and wedge the bomb like in front of gen so that they can't? Because you planted it like this. Let me show you what you did. And then instead of putting it in front, you were like, bet, let's put it over here. Well, bam. Do you see the problem here? You look how significant that is. Bam.
So the pressure in actually middle seems to be working nicely, so I guess we just keep it up. Or Phoenix, do you want to come and try and take your orb and A main? Because they don't really actually fight it too heavy.
Oh, we're so slow, dude. We're so slow. Like, you're calling a Phoenix ult with 5 seconds left. You also said or, as if like, here's 2 plans, guys. Let's do one of them. What do you mean? We got Phoenix all in one. Let's take the A main orb and rush A. That's fine. Or sure. Yeah, they fight for mid a lot. They're gonna smoke cat. We can take mid control. They don't have an initiator. I'm missing like the reasoning. Your reasoning is too flawed because you're saying, oh, they fight for mid a lot or last round or whatever, but last round was an eco. You know what I'm saying?
Cat up.
Honestly, acceptable peeking.
And-
Okay, let's watch the fight. Because the peeking's pretty good. It's pretty wide. It's just tough. You have shooting error on your first shot. Like, this is your first shot. That's just tough, you know? Like, you're dead on her. Just remember, people play off angles. You got a little caught off by the off angle. It surprised you just enough that you rushed your first shot. You had her dead to rights. Like, the peeking was good. It could obviously be better, but not by much. Not gonna lie. And so it was just being ready for the off angle diff.
Put on mid then.
Speaking.
Left side.
Middle, right side maybe.
Party's over.
Nice. Jet was short.
One more, right
Left
side.
side. Left side mid.
Yo, defend A main, defend A main.
Man, we're just getting shit on.
Blocking sight.
Astra is actually super weak in their mid.
It's so
He's
sad.
open right now.
They push both mains wild. Yeah, shit happens. I mean, it's a Reyna player. Also, all 5 of us showed mid. This is the problem with games like Heck and Valorant, dude. I can give you like these guidelines, but it's a contextual game. And if you're not good at identifying when these guidelines are going to be broken, then you're going to be bad at the game. Like this round, contextually, we've shown the enemy team that we're all mid. All of us. They've seen everyone except us, except we spammed the smoke from top mid. So if they have like any brain cells, they know that it's 5 mid. What do you do when you know A main is free? You take it. What do you do when you know B main is free? You take it. Like, should you push both mains? No, not without info. But here we've got info. Omen show 2. Yeah, we spammed like hella. Like, look. So from their perspective, they know 3 mid down here. Okay. It's 4 alive.
Middle, right side maybe.
And we're spamming from top mid. How they know it's Omen? They don't. They know 3 here and 1 here. That's 4. Doesn't matter who's the one over here. It's 4. And there's only 4 guys alive.
Gecko, can you flash?
Don't die to up.
Flash, flash.
If feeling you're being flacked, the urge to smoke is too strong. My problem is you're passive as I'm going to pull up the Xander VOD again, but there's been no rounds where you've TP'd across A main to push. The only places you pushed is B main against a Sage wall, which is like, what? You're playing like the world's safest angle.
They're not pushing, they're not pushing.
Like, yeah,
Shut-
nice kill, but like, I don't give a about that kill. You know why? Because you need to combine kills like that with aggressive kills. And this is a good play from you. Don't get me wrong, okay? I'm not saying it's a bad play. I'm saying doing this all the time is bad. Very bad. Where's the Xander VOD? Oh, bet we're default.
Yeah, I'll smoke middle.
Bet. Omen main, Killjoy. Omen A main, Killjoy B main. 1-3-1. Bet. You see? Like, you would never. The problem is if this was you in game, you would die to Reyna and you would say that was a bad play. You would tell yourself, wow, bad play, me. No, fighting is fine here. Like, look at this. Like, Xander's playing first contact right now for Ascent.
Fuck
God,
A,
it's
bro. I
fucking
don't think I'm gonna place here.
peeking is so clean.
Jet dead.
I want you to see this too. We killed Jet, and I guarantee you, your instinct is to hold heaven and just wait. I guarantee you. That's what you do. I've watched your VODs. Watch what Xander does.
Jet dead.
They're not heaven. Why would they be heaven right now? It doesn't make sense. They're playing Dyson Tree. Anybody heaven will be there in another 5 seconds. We got time. 119 comes around. You know what he's going to do? He's going to heckin' look heaven. Like clockwork. How come I knew? Because I know the timings because I've studied Xander a lot. A lot. Because they won't be heaven, like statistically speaking. They can be, but it's very unlikely that they're just sitting heaven baiting their teammate dice. And so they're rotating. And so 119 is when the super fast rotator could be
Can
here.
blind heaven? Is they heaven already? I'm holding blind. I don't think the.
But you'll recall the timings which we transition to an aggressive passive play not well optimized. Be mindful of this. Study Xander VODs. And you see how I'm pulling out a Xander VOD. And the problem is I haven't studied this guy for a year, okay? And I gave you these notes a year ago. So if anything, you should know more about Xander than me. But instead, I can tell you that Xander's going to look heaven at 119, even though I've studied maybe 30 Xander VODs, maybe. And you should theoretically have studied way more than that. You're just too slow. I don't know how else to explain it. You need to find these rounds in the Xander VODs that make you uncomfortable, and you need to mimic that. Let's change it. General, more pro VODs, Xander. Find the aggressive rounds that make you uncomfortable. Note them down. Try it out. You are generally playing correct on passive rounds. The problem is every round is a passive round for you. This lack of contrast between your passive and aggressive play makes you very easy to play against. You will gain a shocking amount of value from learning to incorporate some high aggression plays. Now, if this makes sense, if there's nothing wrong with your passive play if those were like your passive rounds. But the problem is you just make every round a passive round. Don't forget the one ways. I think hopefully that's intuitively included in the notes because these one ways are not bad. They're not bad. The problem is we're just only using them. We're always passive. Our go-to play is passive. We need to mix in some smokes that we push through ourselves or whatnot, you know? Hey, Woohoojin here. Did you know that I stream every weekday doing VOD reviews and playing ranked? If you enjoy the videos, the best way to support me is to show up live. If this video was just uploaded, it's very likely that I'm streaming right now. All of my coaching is free, but that means I need to make money in other ways. Please consider supporting me with a Discord subscription if you can afford to do so. I run many live events for my tier 3 subscribers as a thank you for letting me pursue my passion every day. At 2,000 subscribers, I'll be booking a flight out to EU and to APAC to play in-houses on your servers. Thank you for supporting me.